All right. Now, but before the closure and after that, students who are getting the lesson better than others will be put into groups, and they'll use something that I call USA Test Prep. This is in my grouping phase. Okay. Now, they'll get into groups of 2 or 3 based on the evidence that I've taken from either, this here, the Google form, or the Kahoots that we did earlier. Any of those things will help me group students. Okay. Now, lastly, all right, in conclusion, the students will use information given in the lesson to come up with a diagram to label these inner planets. All right, so lastly, what I want us to do is come all together. All right, that way we're all back together. We broke off in groups, and now we're coming back together, so it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. All right, we'll come back together, and what I want to do is I want the students to create something similar to this. That way, if we go back to our objectives, all right, we've covered the composition, and we're covering, now we're going to cover the labeling of them. Okay, we went over where they are, what order they're in, and I want them to label for me on paper using coloring pencils or whatever it may be. Label the sun, label Mercury, label Venus, label Earth, and label Mars as well. Okay, so like I said, this is an example of that. You can see the sun, Mercury, Venus, all right, Earth is next, and then lastly you have Mars. Okay, so that would be my exit ticket as well. It would be another example of an exit ticket. So you would do your Google Forms for an exit ticket, and then lastly you would label the planets for me on your own. Okay, however you want to draw a graph, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, but that is my lesson. I hope I covered everything. I'm glad that I got to do this. This is a good experience and good practice for me to go over it. Okay, but thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys can see me, and I hope you learned something today. Thank you very much.